We are living in this really complex world right now where we have our families stuck in the house. We're using our homes to their fullest at this point, to their maximum, using all the electrical, all the plumbing, all the rooms, all the space, and all of the appliances. And as our world has become more technological, we're advancing, everything's talking to each other and everything's kind of communicates with each other, and we all live on this little phone right here, and we can run our whole life off of it. I thought it would be really fun to have Heather Mullally come in and talk to us about appliances. Now, Heather was in appliances for years and years, and with a couple of companies, several, two or three. She'll tell us about it, and she understands how all of this works. And we'll talk about some trends and some things like that. And welcome to the show,
Thank
Heather
you.
Mullally, with I'm going to read it this time, Devine Details, which is your kind of new company that you started this year.
Absolutely. After I earned my Associate Kitchen and Bath Designer certification with the National Kitchen and Bath Association, I opened Devine Details. And this year in October is when I decided to go 100% into focusing on Devine Details and design.
That's fantastic. Now, when we met, you were doing mostly appliances, as I recall.
Appliances, plumbing, hardware,
Uh-huh.
lighting.
Yeah, yeah. And things have changed a lot since then. That was probably
Absolutely.
15 years ago. And we have this whole new world that we live in right now in the world of appliances. Talk to us a little bit about how appliances are more integrated into maybe each other, into our homes, into our lives. What are some of the things that are new and different?
Well, connected appliances are definitely on the rise.
Hmm.
Almost every appliance seems to have some kind of app or connection. You can connect them to each other.
Right.
You can connect them to an overall house system. Like you can connect your refrigerator to an app and connect it to a smart hub
Uh-huh.
and control everything through a smart hub. One of the disadvantages of a smart hub is that all of the functionality that might be available on that particular appliance's app might not be available on the smart hub, just maybe the basic.
So let's break the smart hub down.
Okay.
So are we talking about buying a package of the same appliance, like all Wolf or all whatever brand it is, and the hub is how they all interact with each other?
Well, yes and no. There are different manufacturers have kind of their apps and their hubs that work together and connect together. But then there's also whole house hubs. There are different manufacturers that offer a whole house hub that you can also connect your Ring or your August
Uh-huh,
lock
uh-huh.
or your
Like a
Philips lighting.
management system for
Right,
your home.
right,
And so it's independent of, it's not just appliances or just
correct,
AC or whatever. It's like a management system overall.
correct.
And I guess now that we're all on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, you in theory could hook anything up to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as it's capable and
Uh-huh.
the hub allows the connection. There are certain licensing rights and things of that
Hmm.
nature that not all hubs will connect all products, but do your research. And
What are we trying to control? What are we trying to do with all of this?
well, for instance, in a refrigerator, there are refrigerators that have options where you can see inside your refrigerator from your phone while you're at the market to see, do you need milk? Do you
Hmm.
need strawberries?
So your refrigerator is your virtual shopper.
Right. There are cooktops that automatically connect to the ventilation so that when you turn on a cooktop, the ventilation is turned on. So many
And
people don't
that's
use their
because
ventilation like they should.
if you're in a really tight house and you need fresh air to make up for the air. In other words, if you don't do that, what happens?
Well, the oils and odors are going to get into all the surfaces of your home, and that's difficult to eliminate.
Well, and your venting system, just like a fireplace, won't vent properly.
Correct.
'Cause there's not enough air. It's got to have an equal amount of air coming to it as going through it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right. So
Wow.
the tighter homes definitely do require,
Yeah.
consideration of makeup air.
And so this can all go in your hub. So it kind of will automatically do it. One of them's activated, the other one's automatically activated through the hub.
And that's not available on all appliances,
Uh-huh.
but there are certain manufacturers that do things like that. There are certain manufacturers now that, will automatically add to your Amazon when you need dishwasher pods, and
Really?
things of that nature. There's now, for those of us who have the opportunity to enjoy an ice machine, there are actually filtered ice,
Right.
automatically filtered with internal water dispensers, things like that. So there's just all kinds of interesting new Wi-Fi appliances today.
Is there a trend in appliances now? Is there such a thing as a trend? I look at things and I ask that question because there are so many options. And it's all the way from colors to the actual how they operate, the connectivity, all of that kind. Are there trends anymore, or is it just putting something together that works for you individually?
Well, I think that really depends on the client, how they cook, what they cook,
If they cook.
yes, and how they want it to appear. I've done a lot of show kitchens for those who don't cook. I've done a lot of kitchens where it's clients who really do cook.
I love doing show kitchens. And usually it's because I'm doing something else to frame it. In other words, I'll take a wall out between a kitchen and a den, and she'll go, well, I don't cook. And I go, great. We're going to make this look so cool from the den,
Absolutely.
And it really is a lot of fun working with that.
It is.
Yeah.
And, so you have to really understand the client, what they're looking for, how they function in their kitchen, take into considerations any visual or audio issues that the clients may have, and just find the right package. Appliances oftentimes come in packages. There's deals if you do a package. And so the best thing is to just try to find the right package for what that client needs in their home.
So I've noticed lately we've been going back to the colors of the 60s. I had hoped we had gotten past this.
We do have some new
But like
colors.
a lot of things in society right now, we seem to be regressing. Have you put in any avocado colored appliances lately?
No, I've had a couple of white, maybe some black stainless, but there are some new
Sky
colors
blue.
that are available. Yeah.
I am just like, I looked at one, and I'm not saying I don't like them. I think they're wonderful. But I was just
In the
surprised.
right application.
'Cause it seemed like forever everything was stainless or black. And that was it. That's all anybody wanted.
And I feel like the colors aren't really a trend. I think that appliance manufacturers might want them to be a trend, but most people are sticking with stainless.
Most people want things kind of safe and practical.
Right.
Really.
Because they're thinking
I don't
about
mean
resale.
Safety safe. I mean just safe, visually safe.
Right.
And practical.
And most people are thinking about resale.
Yeah.
And, if they do an avocado green, how is that going to go for resale value?
Well, now we have this transitional design. Transitional. Whatever that means.
Which is a catch-all for pretty much in between Victorian and ultra modern.
What it really means is flat and white. And they're doing their appliances to match. What about the influence that European appliances used to be a huge influence on us? So we had all of our normal brands we grew up with, Sears, GE, whatever they were. And then all of a sudden the Europeans moved into our market and really had an impact on all sorts of things, everything from the design to the features to the quality, really. Is it just now a big international conglomerate of appliances? Do we own appliance companies anymore in this country?
Well, I think that European design still definitely has its place in the premium market. There are some manufacturers that are going a little bit more realistically budget-wise, that help bring European companies into the average home. But you know, those tried and true US brands are still very, very popular. And most people want to support US manufactured products today.
Let's talk a little bit about your design business.
Okay.
Tell us about it.
Well, you know, I work kitchen and bath design. I also help with organization, mudrooms, laundry rooms, things of that nature. And so I really enjoy, my why is helping people find the right product for their home, their style, and their budget. And sometimes that's not easy.
That's a challenge. It's kind of like trying to climb a mountain with one leg.
Sometimes that's not easy, but you know, I feel like when you achieve that, you have just changed someone's life.
You have.
Especially when you're working with someone who has, you know, an issue of mobility issue or a visual issue, and you can make changes to their space that help them function in their space. It's kind of all about universal design and making sure that everyone in the space is going to be able to function well,
Has
as well as being
universal
beautiful.
design become sort of standard now? I mean, it used to
For
be
me,
that
yes.
it used to be universal design. We'll try that one out, but I have found that in the last few years that for me, universal design is just something that's just second nature. It's like,
Exactly.
we really need to do this not for this year, but for in 10 years is, I didn't tell you, I'm working on a book, and the title of the book is Your House Was Not Built to Be Remodeled.
I like it.
So, and the reason I'm bringing that up is not to sell the book because it's not in print yet, but the point is that when you're planning to do a remodel, particularly a kitchen or something, just like Heather said, you really want it to have stay-in power.
Absolutely.
Because that affects the resale, huge investment that you're going to make. Now, tell me something, because I see this a lot and I can't find it anywhere. Is there such thing as a cheap kitchen?
No.
Thank you, because
not
I keep
really.
saying that too.
Not really. I feel like, you know, I love watching program DIY and HGTV, but I feel like they're a little unrealistic as far as cost and time frame of a project. So that's kind of one of the first things that I talk to clients about is, you know, this isn't HGTV. It's not going to take a week and cost $500.
Right.
So once we get that expectation out of the way, I feel then it's easier to move forward with the project.
Is this a battle you have to fight often?
Yeah, with almost every client, there are some unrealistic expectations on the cost of a project and the time frame of a project, especially now with COVID disruptions in manufacturing. An example, I'm waiting now 8 weeks for a tub
Oh, wow.
that I was originally told would take 4 weeks because of holiday closures, COVID closures, and things of that nature.
Is it overseas? Is it
No, it's right here in the
local?
U.S.
Wow.
And it just, so I'm a huge advocate of let's make all of your product selections early. Let's go ahead and get them on order so that hopefully we're not waiting on a product to come in when you're ready for it.
Right.
It's already here and we can get it delivered, or get it delivered early and keep it in the garage or whatnot.
I've been telling people for years, but I learned this lesson many years ago when I did a kitchen, and she ordered all of her cabinets ahead of time, and because she wanted me to start after Thanksgiving and she wanted to serve Christmas dinner out of her kitchen. And I'm like, oh,
That's ambitious.
yeah, boy, I tell you what, I know that I look like your savior, but Anyway, we did it.
Wow.
And we did it because we had all of everything on site.
Everything on
ready.
site.
We did not, I would not, I said, fine, but unless everything's out here, I'm not starting.
Yeah.
Because I would rather you be mad at me because you had to serve Christmas dinner out of your old kitchen than you had to order out.
Right.
And so, but we actually pulled it off. And I learned a big lesson there about being prepared when you start a remodel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like to have everything on site before we start demo.
And the other thing that you brought up that is so true right now are timelines. And I'm having all sorts of discussions with people about realistic timelines. I don't know what they are anymore.
They have
It
changed
starts
quite a
with,
bit.
it starts with getting a permit.
Yeah.
It starts with, we've taxed our architects and engineers to the max. They're also busy trying to keep up. And so just from day one, if you have to have a plan, and then you have to get a permit, and then you have to go through a very complex permitting process that used to be a one pager, and now it's you're kind of writing a script. And then you get to the challenge of getting the materials, your end of
Well, the
it.
materials as well as your subcontractors, they're also very taxed.
Yeah,
And, you know, this particular industry is in desperate need of subcontractors.
Yes.
You know, shop classes aren't happening anymore in high schools and everyone has
Well,
been pushed.
we just
our
don't have
trades are-
tradespeople. We
Right.
don't have tradespeople like we used to
Exactly.
at all. And we used to have a kind of a system when I came up in it where, you know, you worked for a company and you stayed there and you did everything. You built houses, you remodeled houses, you did commercial, you did everything. You were just a construction company. And now it's a real segmented type of business where a tradesperson does just a certain thing. You have a person out there that does just this, but he doesn't do that.
Right.
And so he also, in the good old days, you know, I would have a tradesperson come up to me and he would say, "Hey, your electrician needs to check this thing out over here," or the electrician say, "You know, your carpenter needs to check something out." They kind of kept an eye on each other and the job. I don't do that anymore.
Right, right.
You go out there and you either see it, fix it, or it doesn't get fixed.
Yeah.
And so it's it's made things a lot more challenging in some aspects of it.
Absolutely.
How do you see the next year or so in your business? Are you getting a lot of inquiries for people looking to do work
Well,
yet?
Yes, absolutely. Clients being in their homes for the last 9 months and seeing the things that they would like to update and remodel. That's a lot of inquiries about that. One thing that I tell people is you don't automatically have to tear out a kitchen or a bathroom and start from scratch. I have one client now that we're going to keep the existing cabinets, the existing appliances. They function, they work well, but we want to lighten it up a little bit. So we're going to take out the countertop and the backsplash and lighten the countertop and
We
backsplash
used to do a
out.
lot of that.
Right.
There was a time when we just, you know, replacing all the cabinets was secondary. That was like you're like, cabinets are fine. We just need to paint them. We're just doing
Sure.
more of a cosmetic thing. And if you've got, my challenge from the contractor's point of view is if I have an entire family living in a house and I'm going to go in there and make part of that house dysfunctional,
Right.
especially the important part,
The kitchen.
the heart of the house, the kitchen. I got to be really careful how I do that. You know, your clients get really tired of washing the dishes in the tub.
Sure. Yes.
And they get tired of this kind of warm meal off the hot plate.
Right. I encourage clients who are doing a kitchen remodel to set up maybe a folding table that has a coffee maker, a microwave, a small refrigerator that they even, you know, just something that they bought at Costco just to have some refrigeration, or move their current refrigerator out into the garage to make it easier. Paper plates, plastic utensils for the life of the remodel when the kitchen is torn out. So
We
they have
used
some
to do
semblance
it all the
of,
time. We set up temporary kitchens.
Right.
But I'll tell you, honestly, people are not used to being inconvenienced.
No.
They don't like it anymore. They
no.
don't like it. And yeah, it was really easy before this pandemic where you'd go, well, just go out to eat.
Right.
Just go to the restaurant.
Now, no
big
more.
deal. No, we can't do that anymore. And this is when you get to know your neighbors and your family.
Absolutely.
Maybe better than you want to. I thank you so much for
Thank you for
coming
having me
and
on.
seeing us today. It was really fun. It's great to see you. You look
to see you too.
fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm really happy for your success in your business
Thank
and
you.
hope it continues for you.